is yours, the world is yours.
Yo, what's good everyone? It's Leek and I'm back with another video. Today I'm gonna be listing licenses, well, licensed skins, licensed legendary skins that I want for every killer. Kind of off the rip, I took away Artist and Plague. I absolutely have no idea who, I don't know who I want as a skin for them at all. Y'all, I'll just leave that to y'all. Y'all could decide who y'all want for Artist and Plague, and I'll just read y'all list, I guess. I don't know. These are very wacky, just out of the blue type of legendary skins. Like, you might be like, yo, what the hell is this dude thinking about? That's never gonna happen. Obviously, most of these are never gonna happen. Like, I can already see it, but I just put them on there anyways because why not? But other than that, let's do this. Trapper. Now, a licensed legendary skin that I could kind of see for Trapper that I would kind of want in the game is the Slasher from Last Year the Nightmare. I think that would be pretty cool to have a legendary skin of the Slasher, especially since it's from a different asymmetrical horror game such as Last Year the Nightmare. Last Year the Nightmare fell off hard too, so that would be kind of cool to have the Slasher as a legendary skin. In my opinion, the Slasher is not really cooler than the Strangler, but I remember playing that game like it was yesterday, man. That game was so dope. And I guess it kind of makes sort of sense for Trapper too, since Trapper he sets traps, and the Slasher, well, they could all set traps, so if it's the vibe. Plus Slasher and Trapper, they're huge, they're brutes, they're strong. Why not? You know what I'm trying to say? They both the starter characters in their own game, so why not? Wraith. For the Wraith, I think the Invisible Man will be pretty lit. I don't have any idea how that will work at all though, because the Invisible Man, he's just an Invisible Man, you know what I'm trying to say? He can uncloak and uncloak when he wants to. He doesn't need to ring no bell, so I don't know how that would really work. Maybe they would just throw off a sort of twitching sound as a notification, and then you could just see, oh, that's Invisible Man skin, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, I guess they could pull it off like that too, and then he would just smack him with whatever he got, because usually he be holding all different types of weapons. He usually has his bare hands, so maybe he would just have a knife or something, holding a knife. I don't know. I saw the movie too, I saw the rebooted one. I didn't see like the original old one, but I saw the rebooted one. I thought it was pretty cool, and I figured that would be pretty lit to have Invisible Man skin for the Wraith, because they both invisible, so why not? Hillbilly. Now, Hillbilly, I thought it would be pretty cool to add Igor from Prop Night. Igor is my favorite character in Prop Night. I love just trolling survivors with Igor. I think he's pretty cool, and it's not because he has a bunny outfit. It's not because he has a bunny outfit, and that kind of reminds me of Springtrap. That's not the case. It's not because he has a bunny outfit. I just like the way his power works. I like using the chainsaw relentlessly and just slapping the props or survivors with a chainsaw. I think that's pretty dope. My only thing is that Igor only has a chainsaw, so that's kind of weird. Hillbilly, on the other hand, he has like a sledgehammer, a mallet, and a chainsaw as well. So I guess when you was to pick the Igor legendary skin, he will be holding the chainsaw, but then he could down you. He will hold only the chainsaw, and then he could hit you with it, but then when he revs it up, he just downs you with it. I don't know if that makes sense, because it's like when you hit somebody with the chainsaw, that should be a one down in the first place in DBD's case, but it is what it is. I think Igor would be pretty cool. He won't have his soda bombs, but I guess you could kind of, I don't know how that works. If he breaks a generator, I guess he would just throw down a soda bomb, but then it'll blow up on himself. I guess you could just take the soda bomb away and then just leave it at that. It kind of fits Igor as well, because of the fact that Hillbilly has Tinker, and Igor, when you press Q, he can make his chainsaw kind of alert everywhere all around the map. So that would be pretty dope, I guess. But yeah, Igor would be pretty dope. I don't know if it really makes sense though in DBD's case. Now for the nurse, I think this one is pretty obvious. The sisters, I think the sisters would be pretty cool from Resident Evil Village. The vampire sisters, don't get me wrong, I never played Resident Evil Village. I'm gonna play it, but then it's like I still don't want to play it at the same time, only because I saw YouTubers play it and I already know what's gonna happen. Especially that fetus part. I feel like if I was to play that part on like extra hard, that joint would scare the hell out of me. So I'm still gonna play it though. I feel like I'm still gonna wind up playing the game. I heard that it's obviously like a great game, so I'm definitely gonna get my hands on it. I just really don't know when. Maybe I'm a bit too lazy Cause it's like when I try to dedicate myself to play like a story-based game, it's like I'll play a whole bunch of it. Like I'll play a good chunk of it for like 2 hours, and then I won't play the game for like the whole week, and then I'll just play it that next time. I don't know. Yeah, I think the sisters would be pretty lit to have for the nurse skin. You could just swap out which sister you want to play as, and it won't be a specific sister. You could just swap out what sister you want to play as, and then they just have them all three. They should each be $10 though, not 15. Behavior, if y'all was to do something like that, I think y'all slick. They barely look different. They all have the hooded cloak thingy, whatever. They all look nearly the same. So yeah, they should all just be $10 each as a legendary, not no 15. Doctor, this is where it starts getting a little wacky. Now for the doctor, honestly, I had no idea who would be a cool legendary skin for doctor, and I just randomly chose Electro. Listen, I'm a fan of Marvel. I think Electro would be kind of lit. I guess he would just hit them with electricity. Like his melee attack would be like some electric something. I don't know. He would just hit them with electric energy, and then he could just electrocute them by himself. And I don't know about the whole madness thing though, because Electro is not really about just the madness thing. He would just electrocute the hell out of you, and he just wants you to perish. That's it. So that one is kind of wacky. I had no idea for the doctor, but Electro, I guess. For the Legion, it's actually a 3-parter. I'm not gonna lie. I think these 3 would be pretty cool. First one, the Strangers. I think the Strangers will be pretty lit. I know I've heard some people say that they think that the Strangers would be pretty cool addition to DVD. Those people being me and my brother. Listen, I think it would just be much better just to have them as a legendary skin. Even though they be holding different weapons, like the sack boy dude, he will have like the axe or something like that. Then the daughter, the one with the blonde hair, she will usually have like the knife, and then the mother will also have the knife. So I guess the knife kind of makes sense, but the sack dude, he be having like those big 2-handed weapons, so he will kind of look weird running with a knife. It is what it is. I think the Strangers will be a cool legendary skin for the Legion. The other one for the Legion is Jeff the Killer. Obviously that will be spot on. I think that would be so dope for them to add a Jeff the Killer skin for Legion. That would be just dope. I think that just speaks for itself. Jeff the Killer, yeah, he can be a killer on his own, but I really don't want him to be the first creepypasta killer that they add, honestly. If they was to add a creepypasta killer, I kind of have to think about that one. I have a few good ones that I think would be pretty cool. Like a SCP killer would be pretty dope to add in DVD. I think a SCP chapter would be pretty lit and scary too. I know those SCPs, man, that used to scare the hell out of me when I was little. Jeff the Killer would be pretty cool skin for Legion. And the last one for Legion I think would be pretty cool is Happy Death Day. The Happy Death Day person, I know I saw the first one, I didn't see the second one. I know that in the first one it was a female, so I guess I don't know how that would work, because I don't know, because when you really think about it, in that movie, it's a female, but the body, like the figure, looks like a male. So but then it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. The Happy Death Day outfit would be pretty cool to have, and maybe you could give, I don't know, someone like Meg or something like that, or maybe it would be pretty cool to just drop the survivor in there. The girl from the movie, I don't really remember her name, but the girl from the movie, I think that would be pretty dope to add. Because when you think about it, she's constantly, like, every survivor in Dead by Daylight, they constantly reliving the same thing over and over again. It's a constant loop. It's almost like they live in purgatory. So I guess it would be pretty dope to add the girl from Happy Death Day anyways, because she's kind of just, she can't escape that loop. She's constantly dying, so I guess that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is when she escapes the trial, so she kind of escapes and then it goes into a loop again. I guess that wouldn't make sense because she constantly has to die to really reset the day. So I don't know. The Happy Death Day skin would be pretty cool for Legion though. Blight. Now for Blight, I chose the Volatile from Dying Light. This one wasn't really hard to think of. I was at first gonna choose, believe it or not, what's his name? William Birkin from Resident Evil. But I kind of thought about it and I was like, but that really makes sense, really, because he's William Birkin. I guess he doesn't really run into walls. He just kind of pursues you. He doesn't really run into walls and like do none of that. He just has the pipe with the eye on his shoulder and he just kind of pursues you. He doesn't really run into walls. Meanwhile, the Volatile is like on the, just a complete frenzy to try and kill you in the dark. So of course they will be running into stuff and trying to catch you or catch up to you in Dying Light. So I guess that kind of makes sense there. The only thing that doesn't make sense about Blight having the volatile skin is, I guess, the height, because Blight is like average height, I guess, and the volatile is pretty huge. So that would be kind of weird seeing. But then when you think about it, for the Legion outfit, the bunny outfit kind of made Legion a bit taller, so I guess they could kind of pull that off with Blight. And for the volatile skin, you could just replace Blight's cane with just the volatile's claw or something, just attacking you or whatever. The volatile would be pretty cool for Blight skin. Huntress. Now listen, I don't know why I couldn't really think of something for Huntress, but I guess for Huntress you could just put Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat, bro. I don't know, that was literally the first character that came to my mind. Most of these are like first characters that came to my mind really when I first thought of like a possible skin. I don't know why I just thought of Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat. I was like, Nightwolf would be pretty cool, like a corrupted Nightwolf, even though that probably didn't happen because I'm not really into Mortal Kombat lore like that. But I know in Mortal Kombat X they kind of was like Kung Lao and Sindel, they was like corrupted. Liu Kang was corrupted, so maybe you could have like a corrupted Nightwolf that could just pursue survivors, and then he could throw his hatchets, and his hatchets is green and stuff like how it is in the game. So I think that would be pretty dope maybe, but that's just so random, bro. I don't even know if Nightwolf is bad or not. Like, I don't really know too much about Nightwolf. I don't really know why I chose Nightwolf, but that was the first character that came to my mind, so why not? Trickster, believe it or not, Harley Quinn, bro. I just figured why not? You know, I'm just trying to say like that was the first. I don't know why Harley Quinn. Only because I try to switch genders with it too. I feel like I'm over here trying to switch genders a lot. Not trying to make it where the male killer has to have like a male legendary skin. So I'll be trying to switch it up sometimes. So Trickster could turn into Harley Quinn somehow, and then he could just throw knives or cards or whatever she has in store, because she just be having a whole bunch of stuff in her arsenal just like the Joker. So she just throws random stuff at you that has laceration and could impale you, and then she could reload from the lockers just like the Trickster. And maybe her palette breaking and her animations could be pretty different to be on her level. Like maybe she could kind of flip over vaults and stuff like that, just to add to the vibe of Harley Quinn, because I know Harley Quinn is flippy, so she's like a floppy flippy fish that just came out on land and it just wants to jump back into water, so she's kind of flippy floppy like that. So I think that would be pretty dope to have a Harley Quinn skin. It's not gonna happen. For the twins, I chose Ferrator from Mortal Kombat. Now this one actually it makes a lot of sense, but the only thing that doesn't make sense is Farah is not a infant. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, she's not a baby, so she's just like a kid. So that's what doesn't really make sense. But I guess they could kind of pull that off. She's kind of short. She's a bit taller than Victor. So yeah, but I guess they could always find some way. It's not gonna happen, but I think that would still be pretty cool to have a Ferrator joint. And instead of Tor having a sickle in hand like Charlotte, he could just punch the survivor, I guess, and then that's it. And then when you play as Farah, she could just pounce on them. And yeah, instead of her having like a biting animation, she just has an animation where she's kind of like impaling the survivor in the shoulder, and then they could kind of take her off whenever they're ready. I don't know about that one. That one seems pretty forced, but I guess this whole video is forced, right? I guess I'm pretty forced, so why not? Don't judge me. Oni, I chose Shigoki from For Honor. This one doesn't even make any sense, but I was just like, why not? For Honor had a crossover DVD, and they had the behavior, had the audacity to give us a charm, a For Honor charm, bro. Behavior, you could have done 10 times better than that. Come on, Behavior. Like, we could have at least got something, an event, something like For Honor related, bro, in DVD. Like, why didn't y'all drop Hitokiri? They should have dropped Hitokiri in there. Like, I think that would have been pretty dope. But let me not get too speculative, but I don't even know if that's a word. Let me not get all antsy about that, because when you really think about it, chapter 26 is a night killer, so maybe they possibly snatch the For Honor character, and then that's the chapter. I don't know, who knows? I kind of have my doubts about that, but who knows? I think that would be pretty dope though. But Shigoki will be a pretty cool Oni skin. He doesn't have a katana, he only has his Kanobo, or whatever it's called. I think whatever it's called, Kanobo, something like that. But he only got that, so I guess I don't really know how that would work. Maybe they would just have to add the a sword to Shigoki, and then he gets in his rage mode, and then boom. You know what I'm trying to say? Like whatever. He has his club then. For spirit, I chose two. Now what is it? For spirit, I chose Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary has always been a pretty cool urban legend in my opinion since I was little. So I think it would be pretty dope to finally play as Bloody Mary via skin and not a real character, so you could kind of put her on the spirit. I figured if Bloody Mary was to possibly come into the game, she'll have a power. Wow, she'll have a power similar to Spirit, where she could just teleport around the map nearly, or even like Sadako, where she just teleports through mirrors instead of it being TVs, because Sadako is obviously from the ring, she teleports through TVs. So for Bloody Mary, she would just teleport through mirrors. But if you was to take away the mirror aspect, I guess she would just teleport around the map. A second skin for the spirit that I chose was the ghost lady from the Evil Within 2. Maybe remember that creepy ghost lady from the Evil Within 2? I forgot her name, but remember the part when Sebastian looks down the hallway and then he just saw the creepy ghost lady just teleporting, like phase walking a little bit towards him, and then I forgot what had happened, but I haven't played that game in such a long time. But you had to, it's kind of like she has her own sequence areas where you you kind of have to like hide from her, and then she's just that ghost lady. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that would be a cool legendary skin for the spirit. I'm pretty sure she would have a very similar power to spirit if she wasn't in the game, which I doubt. It'll obviously be the keeper. But yeah, definitely will be a cool skin to have in DBD if they was to add that ghost lady from Evil Within 2, because she was creepy. She creeped me out in that game like a lot. For Deathslinger, I chose Micah Bell from Red Dead Redemption 2. Now obviously we all know Micah Bell is an absolute douche. I hate him. But I guess that's what makes a character a good antagonist. So Deathslinger kind of looks like Micah Bell, yo. Like what the, like, is it me, or he kind of is very reminiscent towards Micah Bell? Like they already look alike. So to just throw in a Micah Bell skin from Red Dead Redemption 2, I think would be pretty dope, especially if it's like a Micah Bell that's like the dead Micah Bell, because obviously Micah Bell's death is inevitable. Like he's meant to die in the story, so it'll be pretty cool to have like a dead Micah Bell and maybe like a live one as well as a Deathslinger skin. So why not? But I don't know why he would just be killing people for no reason if it's not like for money. Maybe they could throw in something where the entity kind of tricked Micah in a way and kind of tricked his mind towards where if he kills all these survivors, he would get rewarded like a lot of money. I don't know, something like that. Like remember in the tomes when the entity was possessing the Jigsaw doll, and it kind of manipulated, I forgot, I think it was Amanda. It kind of manipulated Amanda's mind. So I guess like the entity could be Dutch or something. I don't know. That would be so random. I don't know. I feel like I'm forcing it too hard to make it make sense, but listen, this all wacky. It's not meant to make sense. Why not? Micah Bell. That was the first person that came to my mind. I don't know who else it could be. The Dredge. Now, for the Dredge, this one actually kind of makes sense, and I could definitely see being like an actual skin in the game, and that's the Babadook. Now, the Babadook comes out of lockers and closets. The Dredge comes out of lockers and closets. They're both like their own creature entities, whatever. I think it'll be pretty cool having the Babadook skin. That would be really lit too, but not the one from the movie. The model from the movie is terrible in my opinion. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, bro. The model from the Babadook movie is, I don't like it. I feel like if it was their own, either Behavior's own scarier version of the Babadook, I think that would be pretty cool. Or literally just make him like a drawing, just ripped straight from a book. I think that would be, matter of fact, that's better. If it was an actual, just like a drawing, just ripped straight from the book, I think that would be pretty dope. It'll be unique too, because that will be like the first ever model in Dead by Daylight that actually looks like they're ripped straight from the book, or that they are ripped straight from a book. I think that would be pretty dope. I don't know how the Mori will work though. I guess they could just make it where darkness just spawns and they just get sucked in somehow. I don't know. because it's like Babadook doesn't have hands that come out or the spider thing that comes out. But I guess they could just kind of leave it. It will be their own Babadook in the first place, so I guess why not? But it wouldn't really make sense with the lore of the Babadook. But who gives? I think that would be pretty dope having the Babadook skin, not gonna lie, for the Dredge. And it'll be scary too, especially if it's like the drawing one. The drawing is scary. The real life, like not the real life, but the real manifestation of him is not scary. I think the drawing is scarier actually. For the hag, I think the nurses from Silent Hill will be pretty dope, because when you really think about it, the nurses, meaning when you really think about it, they all really look the same, and they all kind of have they kind of just look discombobulated a little bit, and they kind of just move funny a little bit like the hag. So I guess they could kind of pull that off. And instead of it being, of course, a claw, hag's claw, the melee weapon will be like the knife, or like, since they hold like the knife, so that would be pretty dope. When they set the trap, I guess they could just set some sort of symbol on the ground. Like, remember when you saved the game from in Silent Hill 3, I think it is, and it had that symbol on it, like when that icon symbol when you save the game, maybe it's like a symbol similar to that or something like that. And plus, when you really think about it, all the nurses, when a survivor runs into a trap, another nurse just spawns out of nowhere, and then that could kind of take over. I only put the nurses for the hag because of the simple fact that they literally come out of nowhere, and they almost all of them look the same in the first place. So I kind of figured that would be a pretty dope legendary skin for the hag, just the nurses from Silent Hill. And plus, you will have Pyramid Head and the nurses in the game, which would be pretty cool. I think the only game that actually has both of them in it is Dark Deception, but in Dark Deception, there's nobody, you can't control Pyramid Head, but you could control the nurse. So that's what kind of sucks, but it's still, I guess it's still cool that you could play as the nurse. So yeah. The clown. Now, for the clown, I automatically thought of the Joker. Now, I thought of the Joker for a trickster, but then I was like, maybe it'll make sense for the clown, because it'll be a bit more fitting for the clown too, because of the fact that when the Joker throws the smoke, instead of the smoke being pink, it could just be his laughing gas. It could just be the Joker's laughing gas. I think that'll be just a pretty simple touch. And then when the survivor runs into it, instead of them screaming or coughing, well, they'll cough and they will laugh instead. At the same time, they will just laugh the whole time. I think that would be pretty dope to even see. And then the Joker is just laughing too when he gets stunned by a pal or anything like that. And I guess the speed smoke, I guess that would just be like purple or some other color, and then the Joker could just have the knife. Like, I think that's a really simple legendary skin that could actually possibly happen in DBD. But then again, at the same time, I just want the Joker himself. I think the Joker himself would be pretty cool in DBD instead of being a legendary skin. But who knows if we ever get the Joker? Who knows? You know what I'm trying to say? If anything, I feel like if they was to add a DC character, they will be quick to add Scarecrow or somebody like that. A bit more fitting for DBD, because Scarecrow is he has like a horror aesthetic, so kind of fits the vibe. But anyways, that is my list. I had no idea who could possibly be a legendary skin for the artist in the Plague. Zero idea. I thought about it, I kept thinking about it. I was just like, you know what, I would take them out, I'll leave them to y'all. I have no idea who could be a possible legendary skin for them too. But let me see y'all list though. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you also hit that subscribe button. If you mess with my videos, leave a comment, because I will indeed comment. I comment to every comment, so comment. That's a lot of comments. But anyways, love y'all, take care, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.
Check it out. Come on. 1, 2. What you going?